Well, those are the headlines that we're tracking. I'm Shireen Bhan. Straight to the top story. India's coronavirus count is now over 70,000, with nearly 2,000 cases being added in the last 24 hours. Now, this is according to the data published on the Health Ministry website as of 8 a.m. this morning. The total number of active cases stands at over 46,000, with over 1,500 recoveries, taking the total number of those cured to over 22,400. Now, after a marathon 6-hour meeting with chief ministers, the Prime Minister will address the nation at 8 p.m. tonight. Yesterday, remember, the Prime Minister is believed to have hinted at a further opening up of the economy while extending the lockdown with fewer curbs. Many chief ministers wanted flexibility on the classification of red, orange and green zones. In his speech, the Prime Minister may also highlight the steps taken by the government to accelerate the economy. Further, the Prime Minister is likely to address the challenges being faced by migrant workers and the steps taken to allay their concerns. India is currently in the third phase of the national lockdown, which ends on the 17th of May. Now, here are some chief ministers with what they want from the centre. Take a look.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने चर्चा के बाद कहा कि कौन सा राज्य क्या चाहता है, आप कितनी ढिलाई चाहते हैं लॉकडाउन में, क्या क्या चीज़ें शुरू करना चाहते हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि अब 15 तारीख तक अपने अपने सुझाव भेज दीजिए। आपको क्या लगता है कितनी ढिलाई दी जानी चाहिए कि नहीं ढिलाई दी जानी चाहिए। जो अच्छे सुझाव लगेंगे उन सब सुझावों को लेके एक्सपर्ट से बात करके, डॉक्टर से बात करके, सभी लोगों से बातचीत करके हम दिल्ली वालों की तरफ से परसों फिर एक प्रस्ताव बना लेंगे और परसों हम अपना प्रस्ताव केंद्र सरकार को भेज देंगे।
Well, that is the Chief Minister of Delhi soliciting suggestions and recommendations from the people of Delhi, and that will then be submitted to the Prime Minister along with other states on the 15th. Meanwhile, we learned that the government may announce its next round of measures to boost the economy in the next few days. The wait has been long. Timsy joins us now with more. Timsy, what are you picking up on that much-awaited package?
Well, that's right. What government sources are indicating is that the Finance Ministry is now ready with next set of economic relief measures, and the announcement could be as soon as within the next few days itself. Now, when we asked what could be the focus of these measures, we came to know that the focus is going to continue on the most vulnerable section, that is the daily wage earners, the MSMEs, and the agrarian and the rural economy. Remember, this information comes on the back of the yesterday's meeting of Prime Minister and state chief ministers, where Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman was also present, and states quite vocally actually told PM that they are looking forward to an economic relief package. States did say that a stimulus for the industry to restart the economy, to restart the rural economy is needed. And let's see how soon Finance Ministry actually gives a fillip through these measures when it comes to addressing the economic challenges. Back to you.
All right, we are waiting, Timsy, and that wait has been a long one. The expectation is that perhaps this week is when we could see the next set of relief measures being announced by the government. Now, labour unions in the country are up in arms after states like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat propose to do away with labour laws. Effectively, companies operating in these states will have greater flexibility in determining minimum wages, will see far fewer checks on working conditions and operate with much diluted guarantee of occupational safety. The Chief Minister of Jharkhand, Hemant Soren, has slammed these changes, called them a disaster in the making. Take a look.
ये तो जो चीजें हो रही हैं, ये जो लेबर लॉज को चेंजेस किए जा रहे हैं कहीं कहीं, जो मुझे सुनने को मिला है, एग्जैक्ट उनका फॉर्मेट तो मैं अभी देखा नहीं, लेकिन देखूंगा जरूर। लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि अभी के समय में ये रिफॉर्म्स, इस एक तो अलग से डिजास्टर, ऊपर से ये डिजास्टर की अब 8 घंटा नहीं 12 घंटा मजदूर काम करेगा और तरह तरह की चीजें हैं उसमें, कुछ जो सुनने में आई है आप लोगों के माध्यम से ही, ये तो अलग तरीके का डिजास्टर क्रिएट हो रहा है। ये तो बिल्कुल ही मैं इसके विरोध में हूं। इस तरीके की चीजें पहले भी बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट जो हमारे स्टेट पे रही हैं, उन लोगों ने भी कुछ लेबर लॉज में चेंजेस किया है। आखिर आज आपको लगता है कि इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज या अर्थव्यवस्था की पहिया को घुमाना है तो आपको लेबर लॉज से ही चेंज करनी है। अगर आपको लेबर लॉज से चेंज करनी है तो टैक्सेशन सिस्टम में भी कुछ संशोधन होना चाहिए राज्य सरकारों को फाइनेंशियल रिसोर्स जनरेट करने के लिए।
Well, that is the Chief Minister of Jharkhand there opposing any changes to labour laws, saying that the time is not right. Now, the Indian Railway is attempting to get back on track after nearly 2 months. Regular passenger train services will resume partially with 15 pairs of special trains. The trains will run at full capacity, making social distancing almost impossible. Tickets worth 16 crore rupees have been sold so far. Rupashri Nanda reports from the New Delhi station.
We are at the New Delhi railway station, and for the first time passengers are now being allowed inside the railway platform. You can see Delhi police has now just given them the go ahead that those who have their tickets can enter the platform now, and each one of them essentially after waiting for hours now on their way to the railway platform where they are going to be screened. They are going to be put through a sanitization tunnel and then finally board the train. If I can ask my colleague Rama Shankar just to show you the long queue of people over here. And look at the long queue of people, the long line of people carrying their bags, and this line stretches at least for 1 kilometer from where we are standing. Remember, there will be 3 trains which will run from platform number 1, 2 and 3 today from the New Delhi railway station, apart from 2 more trains which will run from the other side of the railway station, that is the Ajmeri Gate side, which will carry migrants back, but that is a migrant special train. Now this is essentially the gate for those who have their tickets, who have booked their tickets online, and you can see finally they are making their way into the railway station, into the platform, and from there onwards they will board their train for their respective destinations. Now remember, all people who were here did not come with their tickets. Those who have gone inside now are those who have their tickets and who have also been screened for some time and finally have entered the railway platform. With camera person Rama Shankar in New Delhi, Rupashri Nanda.
Well, that is the scene outside the New Delhi railway station as the partial train service resumes. 4 o'clock is when the first train will leave the station. Hours to go before the Prime Minister's speech. What do state governments and citizens want? Joining me now is Megapati Gautam Reddy, the Minister of Industries and Commerce in Andhra Pradesh, and Sachin Tapadia, the Chairman and CEO of Local Circles. Gentlemen, appreciate you joining us here on the program. Sachin, let me come to you first with the findings of what the poll is throwing up. In comparison to the last time that people were asked about whether the lockdown should continue or should be extended, it now seems very clear that people want relaxations and more relaxations to come in.
So, Shireen, people were of the country were always very clear about the green zones and the orange zones, that there should be, as much relaxation as possible. When it comes to, so this time we went a bit deeper and we asked people that, what should be done with the regular red zones and the high virus load districts, which is about 14 districts as per Niti Aayog's data over the weekend. And what comes out is 45% of the people are basically saying that there should be a complete lockdown over the next 2 weeks in these high virus load districts. While in the regular districts, red zone districts, there should be more relaxation. So that way, business can resume and activity can resume. So I think it's emerging very clearly that lower number of people want a complete lockdown this time as compared to May 3rd. But they want more relaxations where you have, a few cases, recent cases, so therefore they are in the red zone, but they are not those high virus load districts.
Absolutely. And high virus load districts are the 14 districts identified by Niti Aayog. But Sachin, as we wait for the Prime Minister to address the nation later tonight, in the meeting with state chief ministers, the indication was that states perhaps will be given more flexibility to designate zones. Now, what is the survey telling you, if anything at all, on whether it should be the central government that should be deciding on who's red, who's orange, who's green, or that the state governments are in fact better equipped to deal with that and then decide on relaxations?
So I think just so there is standardization, Shireen, people still want the zone classification to be run at the central government level, while the relaxations and what is implemented, according to people, should be done at the state and at the local levels. And I think it's critical that there is more coordination. Just to give you an example there, if you look at what is happening in Delhi NCR right now, you have, Delhi-Noida border that is shut. The Noida-Ghaziabad border is also shut.
Yeah.
So if there is a business that is operating in Noida, which is not a high virus load district, but a regular red zone, right? You cannot have employees coming in from Ghaziabad and Delhi. And therefore, many of these businesses are not even starting up, because of all these restrictions. So if there can be coordination at the Delhi NCR level, for instance, right? Then, between the local administrators here and the government of Delhi, then things can improve, perhaps on the ground.
Absolutely. I think you've hit the nail on the head. There is need for more coordination. We're just talking about the National Capital Region. You cannot enter Gurgaon. You cannot enter Delhi from Gurgaon. You can't enter Noida from Delhi. You can't enter Delhi from Noida. I mean, this is a bizarre situation that we're dealing with. Sachin, finally, today we've seen partial train services resume. In fact, in a few minutes from now, perhaps the first train will depart from the New Delhi station. What is the survey telling you? Are people willing to take trains, willing to take flights as and when the services resume?
So what we are reading, Shireen, is that there is going to be an initial spike for people who want to get back to their homes, who are not necessarily migrant labor, but wanted they were stuck somewhere for work or business on March 22nd and had to get back home. They are the ones taking some of these trains. But when we asked people, do you plan to travel in the next 3 months, once the lockdown is relaxed and train and flight services and bus services resume, only 15% people have expressed willingness to travel. So a whopping 85% basically is saying we will not travel. So I think that kind of has to feed into whatever is the strategy that is deployed by the government in terms of resuming flight services and bus services and even expanding train services.
Yeah, absolutely. So people at this point in time saying that unless it's an emergency or they absolutely need to travel, they will choose not to travel, even if there is a resumption of air travel as well as public transportation opens up. But let me bring Mr. Gautam Reddy into the conversation. Mr. Reddy, I believe in the meeting with the Prime Minister yesterday, your Chief Minister was very clear that there needs to be more emphasis on restarting economic activity, on further relaxation of the lockdown. Now, what is your own expectation come the 17th of May?
Good evening, Shireen. Actually, to start off with, the basis of our Chief Minister to come forward with, start reopening the economy, basically 3 notable features that, that's happened in the state of Andhra Pradesh. One was that, during the COVID crisis, we were one of the few states which were pretty proactive and were able to conduct the tests. And if you see today, we stand as one of the highest number of tests in the country. So that has given us more space for us to understand what exactly can be a red zone, or what can be, as I said, I think my colleague was telling also the high virus zones and also the green and the orange zones. So we've been able to be, because of this random tests, and we've been able to be doing this proactive testing that we've done. So the data that is there on our hands, we've been able to contain the red zones areas to a very minimum kind of a circumference, radius areas. And the second point is also that, the post-lockdown, the relaxation of the lockdowns, I think our industry, if you look at it in the entire Andhra Pradesh, we had something like 3,866 MSMEs reopen and about 474 large industries, they've started, they reopened for manufacturing. So this is one of the success aspects of this, what has happened in this case. And I think the third one, of course, which is an unfortunate incident that had happened, what happens, when you post-lockdown, of a lockdown, you had that incident in Visakhapatnam.
Yeah.
But one of the feature was that, the way we were able to contain it immediately, and we were able to, saturate that area, and we were able to get it down to normalcy in less than, 72 hours. As one notable feature. And also, although practically in 48 hours we were able to clear it out, it just took us another additional hours we took to sort of like neutralize make sure the normalcy comes in.
Right.
And also the petition being announced and also being dispersed as we speak today. So in terms of all these policies, what followed is that it's a I think as a state of Andhra Pradesh, we have, and I think our Chief Minister is also of the strong belief that the virus is something that, that we have to live with it. And we need to issuing out of protocols and SOPs as we go along. And then see that there would be an initial spike, as they said it, but then we would have to see that, the minimum protection care is being provided in the public.
Okay, so Mr. Reddy, I'll address the Vizag issue in just a second, but I just want to understand what we should expect come the 17th of May. Now, your Chief Minister was very clear that public transportation should be allowed, that there should in fact be interstate movement of people as well. A lot of other Chief Ministers don't seem to want some of those measures. Now, if there were flexibility given to states, and that's our understanding that the Prime Minister made today talk about more flexibility being given to state governments, how would you like to draw up your lockdown plan from here on?
I think interstate would have to be saying that, if other state also accepts, the acceptance of this interstate travel or not. But then within our state, we're going to be freeing up the movement of the goods. And we're also going to be looking at, opening up of this public transportation. I think, as I said, the one is the mental fatigue people have also accepted that, this is the way of life and this is what we need to live. I'm talking pertaining to Andhra Pradesh. So I'm not sure what's the other part of the country, what the mind are.
Sure.
But then mindset is. But right now, one particular, what we would like to see is this, since we have done, a very proactive kind of a testing and we've equipped ourselves in terms of providing this protective material to the public and going forward, what we're going to be doing much more. I think we should be ready to get back, because one is that, after a while, economy is something which is, the four wheels of this entire country. If we do not get it back on rails as soon as possible, it is going to be challenge after beyond of time. It's going to be a point of pain for most of us.
Yes, you're right about that. It will be a challenge if the lockdown continues. Mr. Reddy, I want to now address the issue of Vizag. And while the investigation is currently on, post what happened, the MHA also put out a fresh notification asking states to follow certain SOPs to ensure that such an event it does not happen. And one can understand because, industries were shut and so on and so forth. Have you been able to identify now what transpired, what led to that horrific accident, and what has been done at the state level post that to ensure that this doesn't happen elsewhere?
This factory, it was not on a process, on a notice to restart. It was under the regular maintenance that was being done in the lockdown period. But what we do understand is that there's been, the protocols have not been adhered to, and then there has been, that is one of the reasons why we find that the leakage of the vapors had taken place. And you see the containers that were supposed to be containing this hazard chemicals. I think, these these tanks are not meant to hold on such a prolonged lockdown. They're not designed for such a prolonged lockdown kind of a scenario. I think it was meant for, a certain minimum time period where the machine is moving in and moving out. So, but having said this, the company have accepted the prolonged lockdown and they have taken measures to ship back this material, which is what they've done now. We've shipped back almost 13,000 tons of this, the hazardous chemicals existing over there. We have them taken back back to the shipped out of Andhra Pradesh. Now, and the second point, what you also said is this, in terms of the reaction of the government, what has happened on this is that we've actually, most of us have given us protocols on COVID protocols, like what should be the industry maintaining from the but the primary responsibility of a red zone, red category industry still stays. When somebody is dealing with hazardous toxic gases or chemicals or handling them or storing them, there's already a kind of all set in over there where they are supposed to follow it. It doesn't come with any new guidance.
Yeah.
But now, having this happen now,
no, I understand that, sir. The question that I'm trying to ask is, and we're aware of the fact that these are factories that have been shut and perhaps maintenance has not been possible due to the lockdown. So have you now ensured that local teams are inspecting these plants, etc., to avert any possible accident?
So to allay the further features, what has happened is, as I said, we've identified 86 such factories where we've said that, we will be doing a safety audit even before they've reached. So this is something, right now we've been more on a self-governance to the companies. After post this incident, we've got into this proactive, and we made sure that 86 companies were notified, and the safety audits are going to be done by third parties, specialists, and then only after certification can they go ahead and start the manufacturing.
Okay. All right. So 86 factories are being certified by the government itself now, no longer depending only on self-certification. So before I let you go, Mr. Reddy, lockdown 4.0, a nationwide lockdown is likely to continue. Is that the indication that you got? That's the indication that we got from the press release that was put out from the Prime Minister yesterday.
I think there is going to be not a tremendous relaxation of the lockdown, but I think there would be certain movement. But I don't think it'll be what people are expecting it to be. I mean, they wanted a total relaxation.
So temper your expectations. So the total relaxation is not likely. And I think the Prime Minister's statement last night after the meeting with Chief Ministers made it clear. Sachin, so you've heard what Mr. Gautam Reddy has to say. The Prime Minister also said that the relaxations or the measures that were announced in Lockdown 1 were not needed in Lockdown 2. The measures announced in Lockdown 2 were perhaps not needed in Lockdown 3. But to Mr. Reddy's point that Lockdown 4 will happen, but maybe with additional relaxations, but it's not going to be what people expect, a lifting, so to speak.
So yes, I did, Shireen, but I think, this is where we have got to be a bit more practical now, or the government has got to, things like, for example, people living in these high viral load districts or even in red zones, not being able to order via e-commerce and get products, basically. It's a simple relaxation. Where you can enable retailers to deliver, enable e-commerce platforms to deliver, but make the lives of citizens in those districts more convenient. So I think those are the kind of measures that should be taken. So continue the lockdown.
And the citizen has to be, the focus has to be on the citizen. I think we've forgotten about the citizen and the hardship that the citizen is going through. There's been a lot of resilience. There's been a lot of support for the lockdown because that is what the government asked of the citizen. But now it's time to put the citizen at the center. Why should the citizen have to run from pillar to post to just try and get a pass to be able to access healthcare, to be able to access an essential service? I think governments, whether at the center or the state, have to now put the citizen at the center of the conversation and the center of the exit strategy. Sachin Taparia and Mr. Gautam Reddy, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18 on Restarting India. Now, as the nation begins easing restrictions on what has been the world's largest and most stringent lockdown thanks to COVID-19, Tamil Nadu's automotive component industries have begun reopening. However, an already sluggish auto industry crippled by the lockdown isn't making things easy. Jude Sanith visits some of the plants outside Chennai to take stock of the damage and the road to recovery.
After a 45-day lockdown period, auto component industries in Tamil Nadu's MSME sector have finally been allowed to open their shutters. But is there a cash flow and a demand problem that exists within these industries even after they've been allowed to reopen? Join me as I find out.
We have anywhere between 12 to 15 lakh MSMEs, of which less than 25% would have the wherewithal to weather a 0-month billing. None of us in our life has ever seen a month go with zero billing. Do a turnover of 70, 80 lakhs a month. I'm zero for last month. That means 1 month down the line, I'm not going to have any cash flows to help me pay my expenses.
A Tamil Nadu government directive makes it amply clear that all industries outside Chennai city limits need to ensure that only 50% of their workforce turns up to office every single day. And that's exactly why all workstations behind me are seeing adequate social distance with space left between each employee's workstations. Although the Tamil Nadu government has allowed for all industries outside the greater Chennai city limits to operate with 50% workforce, the fact remains that most plants, much like this tire factory, have seen only 20% of their workforce turn up to work. The reason they say is simply the fact that almost all of the employees aren't being allowed to venture outside their homes on account of the large spread of containment zones in the city of Chennai.
The villages are suggesting the employees not to go for work. In case they come for work, they don't want them to come back to their houses. So the employees, the workers are all a little bit hesitant to come back. We have been requesting them that we are starting work, you need to come back. But now the migrant laborers are all waiting for an opportunity to go back home because they have been assured by the government that they are making arrangements. Whereas our employees, permanent employees, are all being restrained from coming back. The world markets are closed. My customers, the last shipments which I have made, the customers have not been able to clear the tires from the ports. So, if I ask them for payment, they say that at least let me clear the goods and start selling it, and then we will start. So even today when you do exports, your payment cycles are close to about 140 to 120 to 140 days. Whereas with this current situation, the payment cycles are going to go much larger.
In Chennai, this is Jude Sanath.
Well, that's the MSME ground report. But with that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of After the Bell. We'll see you in just a bit on Dalal Street. A smart recovery in the second half saw the Sensex and the Nifty end with only minor cuts. Reliance HDFC dragged, while ITC and Bharti Airtel lent some support. Markets Today Talk Back takes the action forward.